Okay, just a second. Are we good to go or we should wait?
You are good to go because like some are watching from Discord, some are watching here, so it's good enough. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Software Freedom Day 2021. And I am super duper pumped and excited to present the talk. So before jumping into the talk, I'm going to give you a little bit context about myself. My name is Sonia, Developer Relations Engineer at Tendermint, and I'm also an alumni of Punjab University. Apart from all this, I have been involved with many open source communities like Chromium, WebKit, Firefox, Kubernetes from the past 4 years. And also, I started my open source journey from this event only, Software Freedom Day. So just take the most out of this event. So today I'm going to speak on open source, Cosmos ecosystem, and the blockchain ecosystem. And I would love for this to be interactive and for the QA section to be a place for discussion. Also, even after this talk and after QA is over, I would love to invite anyone to discuss the topics that we will be covering today. So now before I get started about open source, blockchain, its agenda, I want to know why are you here? Because you all might have several options, might watch some TV series, cook some good food, or hang out at home that we are all doing from the past 2 years. But why did you choose this particular talk to come to? Just make sure that you think about this question, as there are a lot of different answers to this. So just take a minute, uh, think why are you in this particular talk and what you want to take away from it. Okay, so moving forward to the agenda. Uh, so today we will be talking about open source. It is more common than people think. Blockchain and open source. Blockchain, not just a cryptocurrency. Introduction to Cosmos and unbreakable chain. Starport introduction, its goals. Starport impact on the blockchain ecosystem, and how can you get involved and contribute to the Starport ecosystem. And at the last, I will be taking some of the questions from the audience. So without getting any further delay, let's start with open source. Have anyone heard about open source? What does it mean to you? You can also type in the chat. Come on, guys. I know at least some of you know what is open source. Even it's written on the slide. No one? Okay. So it's built by the developer community for the developer community. It is visible to everyone. The source code for software that is open source, it is completely free. We can use it to copy, study, change, and improve it. Also, it is built collaboratively. People work together. They have a very healthy community. It is actively maintained, not every project though, and open to contributions. So yes, open source is very powerful. And today I'm going to talk about how powerful open source is in the blockchain ecosystem, how blockchain is complementing the open source. I guess we have some message denoting software for which source code is free, public available software or source code to which everyone can contribute and develop. Yes, you are right. So I don't remember the first time I heard about blockchain, but I do, however, remember when I began to hear about it frequently. Before I started to work professionally in a blockchain company, I used to describe blockchain as the technology that empowers blockchain. Yes. So the technology that empowers blockchain. Although this is accurate, but it's not very instructive because most people haven't really considered how Bitcoin works. I want to know from the attendees what blockchain is according to you.
It's like a database for storing data and for security purpose. It's a better than the other traditional
Yeah,
database.
right. You're right. Anyone else? Kind of online ledger immutable. You're also right. Nice. So let me tell you a very brief about what blockchain is. A blockchain is a distributed set of data that uses cryptography to verify and secure that information rather than having a central database server to store the data. Everyone involved in the blockchain has a copy of that information. It involves each involved party to verify that an individual block is accurate using hashtag cryptography, and also each block is created from a hash of some of the information. Anyone who has that some information can create the same hash to verify that block. However, they cannot go backward from the hash to recreate the data the block is about. So each person updating the blockchain uses a key that is totally unique to verify that they are who they say they are. So people, wait. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry, my screen got cut off. So each person who is updating the key uses a key to verify that are they the real person that they claim to be. Also, I have seen that people are often surprised when they find out about the blockchain technology, which is known for its security. It is built on the open source software code. In fact, openness is what creates a security as well as reliability. One of the core values of building anything as open source is gaining efficiency, creating a community of developers with different perspectives and skill sets, all working on the same code base. Let me explain this with the help of an example. One of the most popular operating system, Linux. I'm sure everyone has heard about it. I'm sure many of you are also using it as the main operating system. So Linux powers the servers of many websites like Google, Facebook, and thousands of other websites on which we are also sharing our personal information. And do you know it's built over open source? Chromebooks, Android phones, they also use an operating system that is totally based upon Linux. Open source, but yet it is secure. But do you know Linux is not owned by a corporation? It is free to use, created by the collaborative efforts. Developers from the 1700 to 1800 companies are contributing to the code base. That's how open source software works. Tons of people contribute and constantly add, modify, or build off the open source code base to create new apps and platforms. Much of the software code for blockchain and cryptocurrency has been developed using open source software. Open source software, it is built by the passionate users that are constantly on guard for the bugs, glitches, or any kind of flaws. So whenever a problem is discovered, there is a community of developers who works separately as well as together for fixing that problem. So an entire community of open source blockchain developers is constantly adding, refining its code base. Open source software also allows developers to create these platforms in a decentralized way. That is also the key to safety, security, and variability of transactions in the blockchain. So this decentralized approach means that there is no central authority to mediate that transaction. That means that no person can control whatever has happened. Either it has been hacked, or it is safe. Direct peer-to-peer interactions happen very quickly as well as securely. As transactions are recorded in the ledger, they are distributed across the ecosystem. Blockchain, it uses cryptography to keep the things secure, and each transaction carries an information connecting it with the previous transaction to verify its authenticity. So this also prevents the threat factors from tampering with the idea, because once it's added to the public ledger, it can't be changed. It can't be changed by the users. But however, with the more applications, more users, there always come more problems. There are many problems existing in the blockchain space, but I will talk about the three main problems. The first one is scalability, the second one is usability, and the third one is sovereignty. So coming to our first problem, that is scalability. The Bitcoin scalability problem, it basically refers to the limited capacity of the Bitcoin network to handle the large amount of transactions data on its platform in a very short span of time. With scalability, we need, how are you ensuring that this centralized network can handle large as well as growing number of users? It's a very basic computer networking problem. There is only so much bandwidth available to handle the transactions taking place. On top of that, we need to validate each transaction by checking the records existing as well as the past, and it also requires a certain amount of storage space. Scalability also depends upon the different factors: transactions per second, block size, chain size, digital signatures. So this is one of the major problems in terms of blockchain ecosystem. Moving to our next problem, that is usability. It was faced by the blockchain ecosystem, and it is more related to the design and efficiency of the applications. The third one is sovereignty. It means that uh, if you know about the blockchain applications, you might also know that all the applications, they share the same underlying environment. Essentially, this creates two layers, that of the application and that of the underlying environment. The former is limited by the latter. If there is any bug in the application, nothing can be done about it without the approval of the governance of the platform itself. And if the application requires a new feature, it again has to rely entirely on the governance of that platform. Now, how do we solve these all problems? What is the solution to all these problems? Solutions. So they are everywhere. There are solutions. The developers are working very hard to cope up with these problems. And so the solution to this problem is Cosmos, the Internet of Blockchain. Now I will dive into this open source Cosmos project. But before moving forward, I want to know if anyone is having any kind of questions. Feel free to type in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, can we update any data in blockchain? Like, what is the process to update any data in blockchain?
Well, that entirely depends upon the blockchain you're using. And I can talk about the Cosmos blockchain. I will be telling about you in the further talk.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so moving forward about Cosmos. So let's dive into this project, and let me tell you about the vision of the Cosmos project. So Cosmos is an ecosystem that can scale and interpret with each other. Before Cosmos, the blockchains were soiled and they were unable able to communicate with each other. They were hard to handle and they could only handle a small amount per second. So Cosmos solved all these problems that we talked before with the new technical vision. The vision of the Cosmos is to make it easy for the developers to build blockchains, break the barriers between blockchains by allowing them to transact with each other. Also, the end goal is to create an internet of blockchains, a network of blockchains that are able to communicate with each other in a decentralized way. With Cosmos, blockchains can maintain sovereignty, process the transactions very quickly, and communicate with each other with other blockchains in the ecosystem. That makes it optimal for a variety of use cases for the other blockchain as well, like Polkadot, Ethereum. And this vision is achieved through a set of different open source tools like Cosmos SDK, Tendermint, IBC, that is designed to let people build custom, secure, scalable, and interoperable blockchain applications quickly. So let me tell you a very brief about the vision of Cosmos. Cosmos makes blockchain powerful and easy to develop with Tendermint BFT and the modularity of the Cosmos SDK. Cosmos enables blockchains to transfer value with each other through IBC and PEG zones while letting them retain their sovereignty. The third one is Cosmos allows blockchain applications to scale to millions of users through horizontal and vertical scalability solutions. So more than anything, Cosmos is not a product, but it is an open source ecosystem that is built on a set of modular, adaptable, and interchangeable tools. So moving to our next slide, that is, do you know we can build our own blockchain? So yes, there is a tool called Starport, which is entirely open source and it is built over Cosmos SDK that helps us in achieving our own purpose. So you can build your own blockchain, develop features over it, and modify as per your assistance. So let's talk about Starport. How? This is all in one platform to build, launch, and maintain any crypto application on a sovereign and secured blockchain. So it is built on the Cosmos technologies that I talked before, and it offers unparalleled developer experience, empowering novice and experienced blockchains alike to build and launch crypto apps in weeks rather than months. Starport CLI, it is a tool for scaffold additional functionality, creates web and mobile clients, run basic development experience in the world of blockchains. So the end goal is to give people tools to build sovereign chains, empower people to create independent chains is where Cosmos and Starport truly shines. Let me tell you in a very brief about the Starport features. You can scaffold a web app. It also has hot reloading. You can build smart contracts, and also using a single tool, it's always up to date. So by now, of using Starport and connecting it to the Cosmos blockchain ecosystem. So the first one, be a part of the Starport, an open source project. I talked about Starport, the blockchain ecosystem, what I have seen is students are really passionate. So first of all, anyone can contribute to the open source, even in the blockchain ecosystem. No matter what your experience level is, there is a place for everyone, whether you are a beginner, experienced, or have years of experience. So one of the main advantage with open source projects is that you can step of that friendly open source ecosystem community will offer you guidance. You will learn with another person, even though you might be worlds apart. So before learning how to contribute, let me give you a glance of why you should contribute to the Cosmos ecosystem. Contributing to open source projects always has many rewards. The first one is real world experience. Cosmos is one of the largest open source blockchain projects, and the Cosmos ecosystem is continuously expanding, and it is also a host to the other 250 open source projects. Cosmos is being used for a variety of innovative applications in daily life. There are many apps like Uptick, Chai, that are built in a decentralized way. So whenever you contribute to a large open source project like Cosmos, you get to know how things are working in the technical domain, gain knowledge about the technical internal complex ecosystem. It helps you strengthen the knowledge and understanding about that project. Also, by working on an open source project that is used by the community, you are not only improving the quality for a single person, but for the whole ecosystem. So the next point is write cleaner and better code. Open source guidelines gives you a great head start so that you can learn how to write clean code while you also contribute to the code base. The Cosmos core maintainers they have established great guidelines and best practices so that the code is readable, maintainable, well organized, and it also contains all the required tests. So also being open, what does that mean? It means that the source code is exposed to the world. When you know that anyone anywhere can access the open source code, you automatically focus on making easy to change as well as easy to maintain. So your open source community holds you to be higher standards when helping you achieve them. The third one is network with the community. This is the most important part. By working with the community, the Cosmos ecosystem community is the contribution to opening your entered by the industry experts. Also engage with other other countries. Point is build an outstanding portfolio. Whether it's learning to design, code, improve user interface, write minutes awareness, you can always learn these skills and grow your portfolio by working on an open source projects and engage with the community. The Cosmos ecosystem offers everything. Also your contribution, they tell us about your interest, skills, motivation, show others how you are approaching the solution for the complex problem, and deal with working in an open source project. There are a lot more perks available to the cosmonaut. So they recognize value and lets you earn amazing swag for your contribution. So this was all why you should contribute to the Cosmos ecosystem. Moving forward, I'm going to explain the ways. what are the different ways to contribute to the Cosmos ecosystem? The first one is write code and submit patches. The Cosmos code base is open source, as I mentioned before. So all the code is hosted in the open world on GitHub. Your first step is to get started. So GitHub issues in many repositories are labeled with proper good first issues. They are often the mentored bugs. So if you get stuck at any step, a code maintainer or your fellow contributor will help you out. So you learn about the code and the best practices as you contribute to the open source project. After reviewing, also whenever you start contributing to any open source project, always read the the contributing file. It actually has always research by yourself first. So with this, you can help in improving the tooling, testing, automating the project setup. The next is take your assets or become a validator. Validators, they play a very important role, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, and they also help in securing the network. The first way to learn about validators is to carefully select your own validator when you stake your tokens. So first of all, staking, it is a process of locking up a digital asset to provide economic security for a public blockchain in return for staking rewards. So when you stake your own tokens, you help secure the Cosmos Hub, and also you can earn rewards for that. Contribute to the docs and tutorials. You can always help improving the documentation and tutorials when you build applications and apps with the help of Cosmos SDK and Starport. The documentation is very important. As with all the active open source projects, project documentation and tutorials benefit from community engagement. So whenever you see an error, simply file an issue, submit a PR, fix those typos, or add more clarifying paragraph. It will be extremely appreciated. The next point is propose, suggest changes, and support to Cosmos roadmap. If you help must make the Cosmos roadmap better or contribute in a non-tribal way to support the Cosmos roadmap, the community will always recognize your contributions. And we also have a grant program, and I will share all the links with you after this talk. The fifth point is organize events in your city or country. You can also help by organizing events and broadening the open source communities. You can evangelize, present talks that are related to open source to the projects you are contributing. It doesn't necessarily have to be entitled towards Cosmos. It can be anything. It could be Linux, it could be Firefox, it could be any open source project. uh, Also, one more thing, open source, it can be intimidating for everyone, not only for you. When we are a beginner in the open source, almost 50% of the attendees are first year students, and they might haven't heard about open source before, which is totally fine. Sometimes whenever you begin with a new project, you are unable to find the right project, unable to understand the code base. Also, if anything goes wrong, we might not even look at it again out of the frustration. I can bet that these things happen with most of you, and also with the people who are contributing to open source for years. I have been contributing to open source for from the past 4 years, and trust me, it happens with me each and every day. So you don't have to worry about that. I believe that there are many ways to get involved within an open source project, contribute to it. The most important thing is the will to learn. Ask as many questions you have, do your research well, engage with the community, help the other developers. So whether it's learning to design, coding, improving UI, writing documentation, tutorials, maybe organizing some event, hackathons, you can always learn this by working on an open source project. Also, as we know that the work we do in open source is always public, which also means that it showcases our work to the hiring people, to the hiring managers. In today, GitHub is like resume. So nowadays, recruiters talks people actively on the GitHub. It also shows the recruiters the quality of the code, how we communicate effectively, also how we approach the solutions for certain complex problem. Also, if you know that one of the great way to learn programming is to do more code, more practice, and the another way is to know how the other people are approaching it. So I can say that open source offers us both. Okay. So that was regarding on how can you be a part of the Cosmos ecosystem, how can you contribute to, hopefully. So that was all. Please type your questions in the chat.
Everyone can ask their questions, and if someone wants to like have a one-on-one talk with Sonia, you can just raise your hand or. Okay, so I have one question,
Sure.
Sonia. Yeah. So as we know, like the blockchain is like big in the cryptography field, and there have been traditional methodologies that have been used to like solve or preserve privacy in this field. So do you think that blockchain can in some time can replace that?
Can you please repeat your question? It was
There
little.
have been like traditional traditional techniques that have been used in cryptography. So do you think like blockchain can replace those cryptography techniques and give us a more private or more secure network?
Actually, yes. And if you see the recent news, the latest blockchain, they are built more on the more in a decentralized way. And for example, if I talk about the Cosmos ecosystem, do check that out. It has, added additional layers of security. They are, I mean, if you also know that the traditional cost of transaction that used to be very high, so all the problems they have been solved. But with the users, with more users, more apps, more platforms, there are going to be problems. But I know that developers are working hard over that.
Yeah. So
I
it
will
is like
share.
a good future for blockchain.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it has already started, not the
Yeah.
future, I would say. Yeah. I guess we have some questions in the chat. Let me
Yeah.
take that. Ma'am, what all projects can be built using Cosmos? So one of the project that I talked about is Starport. So it's a CLI tool that can be built using Cosmos SDK. And also Cosmos is a host to many other open source projects as well. Let me find a link and share with you. So I have shared a link. It contains all the apps, all the services that are built over Cosmos. It also has the proper documentation, guidelines about how can you get involved with that. So wait. Next question, please.
Okay,
Uh,
so next question is, what is mining process in blockchain?
Nice. So mining, it's basically a process to validate each and every step in the transaction. That's done while operating any Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. So let me give you a very general example. For example, we have Google Pay. So they also use some kind of hashing and keys to validate the transaction. In the same way, blockchain also has a process to validate each and every step in the transaction. And that's called mining.
Okay, I hope
Actually, what amount of time does it take for mining? Like, is there any, long time for mining process, or it just takes a small time?
Okay, so in the past, it used to take so much time, but today it is very fast. It just take few seconds.
so the next question is, which open source project will help in placement?
Which open source? Okay,
I
so
think, yeah.
that is a nice question. Well, I will say choose a project based upon your interest. In open source, as I mentioned before, you can do everything. It can be organizing events, it could be writing, designing, it could be writing code as well. So based upon the uh, area that you are interested, pick the project as per that. Or you can DM me after the talk if you want to brainstorm some ideas. I'll help you out. Is Cosmos listed in GSOC? No, no, not yet.
Uh, is there any particular reason to choose Go as the main programming language of Cosmos?
Okay, so we have another question about the language. Actually, we are also making all these things available in the JavaScript as well. So the main reason behind choosing Go is it's more fast, secure, and reliable. There is not any scientific or hard to method to go. Okay,
Wh-
so whenever there is a DeFi project, it generally has some sort of white paper to plan the architecture. Is the white paper open source too? Can people contribute to the infrastructure planning? So this is a very nice question. And yes, the white paper is also open source. Let me find it for you. So I have shared the link to the white paper. You can go through it. It has all the resources available, and you can also reach out to the team, or you can also reach out to me if there is anything that you are interested. Okay.
okay, so the next question is, as blockchain is decentralized, so by making an internet type of thing for blockchains like Cosmos, won't it kill the decentralized spirit of blockchains?
Hello. Can you please repeat? Your voice got
Yeah,
cut off.
yeah. As blockchain is decentralized, so by making an internet type of thing for blockchains like Cosmos, won't it kill the decentralized spirit of blockchain?
Actually, no. With this, it is giving us more features. Uh, some of them are we can do all the transaction without a middleman. So no virtual machines are available. and it gives us more security, also sustainability. It is also environment friendly, that is also saving a lot of resources. So it is not, definitely not killing the decentralized spirit of blockchains. Also, we are making very hard push to make it as internet of blockchains. With Cosmos, you can not only connect with Cosmos ecosystem, but uh, with others too, like Polkadot, we have Ethereum, we have Sifi chain, Akash network, and many others.
Yeah. So the next question is, how is proof of stake algorithm better than proof of work?
Okay, so first of all, the proof of work, it requires a huge amount of energy with which the miners need to sell their coins. Also, with proof of stake, it gives you mining power that is totally based upon the percentage of the coins that are held by a miner. So it gives us a huge uh, power over that.
Okay.
How is the
Okay.
work?
So,
Yeah. How is the work environment at Mozilla? So I was a past intern at Mozilla and have been working with them from the past 4 years. The mentors there are super friendly. They are, super good guys to go to. Also, I started my open source journey with Mozilla project only. In 2017, SFD invited some speakers from the Mozilla, and that was my way to connect with them. I started with localization. When I was in the first year, I didn't had any technical background. Uh, I didn't even know about basic HTML, CSS. So I used to contribute to localization. My local language is Punjabi. So I used to convert the English strings to the Punjabi strings. And after that, I learned about web development, got involved further. So I would definitely say they are super supportive. You should definitely contribute to the Mozilla projects if you find anything interesting.
okay. So one question is like many Cosmos or Tendermint projects faced a huge drop in valuations in different crypto exchanges. Does it have to do with the architecture of Cosmos?
Not actually. If you see with the architecture and the design, it is way better than the others. It has a greater UI, and recently the research is also going on to make it more better. And if you want to get involved in any kind of architecture, feel free to go through the white paper, read the documentation. Yeah.
The next question is, Ethereum has Ganache or Truffle for testnet and for local solidity development. Does Cosmos have an alternative?
I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
Ethereum has Ganache/Truffle for testnet and for local solidity development. Does Cosmos have an alternative? Uh,
I'm sorry.
is the second last question if you
Oh,
see in the
okay,
chat?
wait. Let me
Yeah.
check the chat. Ethereum has, okay, truffle for testnet for local solidity. Does Cosmos have an alternative? Okay, so Cosmos is also using the local solidity development at this moment. Right now, it doesn't have any other alternative. How does 51% attack work in blockchain? Can you please be more specific about your question?
Like, ma'am, when I have seen in many blogs, like when the in blockchain, when the attack took place, it took only up to extent of 51%. Like how this happened, I don't know. Like how they attacked it. Is there any this security in blockchain? Because in my point of view, I don't see any kind of discontinuity where we can attack.
Okay, so actually it's totally based upon the hash node and the keys. Let me explain you in very brief, but 51% attack is uh, it mainly occurs when one, two, or many miners, they take control of more than 50% of the network's mining power, or you can say computing power. And if a 51% attack is successful, then the miners responsible, they can control your network, certain transactions that are occurring with that. And yes, it occurs when they lose any kind of security. That's why we need to be you know that's why we need to be very secure within the blockchain ecosystem regarding the security, because it can be a huge if you have like a lots of coins.
Do they use brute force for that, like for attacking purpose?
I I'm not sure about that, how they attack and all, but what I would personally suggest is have a proper security of the blockchain you are using, in whatever platform or app you are keeping your coins. Make sure that they have a backup, it's built in a more decentralized way, otherwise the chances of attack are very high. Okay, so moving to our next question. Ma'am, what kind of programming languages you learn to contribute in Cosmos? Like there is Solidity, Golang, and many other stuff involved. So on which topic you focus most to get comfortable for contribution? Okay, so first of all, I am professionally working in the Cosmos ecosystem. I am not I am also a contributor, but before joining this company, I was not a contributor. Before that, I was contributing to the mainly Mozilla Firefox projects, Kubernetes projects, some cloud native projects. So, getting to your question, I guess almost all the applications are built using Golang. You can go through that. Also, there are proper resources available for every project. The documentation, readme, everything is built beautifully, so go through that. There is also a Discord server for that project. uh, Come say hi, and we'll help you out. How do you guys do security audits for your contracts? I'm not in that field, so I am not aware about that. But you can also join Discord, ask questions there. There are developers who might give you a better perspective. Any other questions?
Okay, so Sonia, would you say that hello, am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah. So would you say that to contribute in open source, we need to learn all the languages so that it would be easier for us? Or would you say we should focus on one language, master it, then just learn along the way?
Okay, so according to my personal opinion, I definitely not suggest you to learn all the languages. Even myself, I know Go, JavaScript, but like I'm not a guru in that language. What I would personally suggest is, learn the basics of any language. Like you should know how to edit that code, how can you add more code into it. So for me, I know about JavaScript, and with that help, with the time, with the experience, with the ongoing learning, you will get to know how can you contribute in other languages as well. Don't go blindly about learning a single language. um, I also have seen many people who are learning JavaScript, they might know a lot about it, but when it comes to the contributions, they don't know, how to edit, how to make a fix. So learn the basics, the concepts, not the languages. How proficient you need to be in a language to contribute to the projects? I would say learn along with your contributions. So when I started, I didn't even know about basic HTML. And now I'm working in an open source blockchain company. So I definitely know you all people can also do that. Learn along with it. Start from the good first issues. There are always labels. Pick those issues, become comfortable, and then start picking the bigger issues. Don't directly hover over the bigger issues. Also, contributing to open source, it takes time. People generally expect that they will learn everything within 1 month. It's not the scenario. It really takes months, even years.
Yeah, so it was good having you, Sonia, with us, and it was like a very informative session, and uh, I hope it motivated a lot of people here to join your community and contribute to your projects. For any other question, you can drop your questions in Discord, and Sonia will be able to answer them there. Other than that, Sonia, you can tell them about the uh, gift card thing you posted on Discord, so that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second. Okay. So for this talk, I'm hosting a very small contest. Uh, you can share a tweet about what you learned from this talk. You can also post a selfie, or if you took any event picture, ask any question, anything that comes to your mind. Be creative about it. Also, you can check the general channel in the Discord. I mentioned some of the channels, SFDPU, Starport HQ, and Cosmos. Mention them in your tweet, and I will pick the best one, and I will try to declare the result by the end of the day or by tomorrow. Also, don't forget to tag me so that I know about all the participants. You will get a $50 USD card, and you can purchase anything from the shop. I have mentioned the link of the shop in the channel itself. So yeah, go through it and participate in this contest. And I'm looking forward to your tweets as well.
Yeah, I hope all of you will be tweeting after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please. And I will share more information in the channel itself. You can also reach out to me there. Okay.
Okay, so
So
thank you,
thank you so
Sonia.
much. Thank you so much. It was great